What's the thing? The little redheaded lady.
Hello
Hi.
and welcome.
Yar.
I'm sorry that we are a little late. We were talking about the Dungeons and Dragons movie trailer.
I'm not sorry
Honor
for
Among
that.
Thieves, and how excited we are to watch it because it looks like a super fun time. And Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez.
It feels like when the World of Warcraft movie came out, and like
I still
everybody
haven't seen that.
and everybody was
Don't.
like, "It's terrible," but I watched it and I was still like, you know what? I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's like the Excalibur, King Arthur Legend of the Sword movie. That movie
I need
is
to
not
see that.
that movie is not good, but you want to know what? It is phenomenal.
Is it a Guy Ritchie movie?
Ritchie movie.
I'm there.
It is the best. It is the best example to date of a released movie that is Dungeons and Dragons, hands down. Everything in that movie is Dungeons and Dragons to the T. A ridiculous cast of characters who are vaguely in a period of medievalness, swords, monsters. Oh, it's so fun. Way better than that Robin Hood movie. Okay. Hello, dear viewers. Happy Thursday. It is I, your Maestro of Mayhem, welcoming you to Rainbows and Razor Blades production, where chaos reigns in all of our content. This is At the Threshold. This is the mid-season finale because we do that sort of shit around here. So yeah, let's meet our players. Hello, players.
Hi, Chad.
All right, let's get into the game.
Yeah.
No, let's start with Michael.
Yeah, hello. My name is Michael. I am on the Twitters at the Valkyrie Bait. Tonight I am playing Henri of the Brazen Eye. He is having a good time. Well, he is having an okay time here at the top of a glacier. It's at least comfortable.
It is at least comfortable. Let us kick it over to Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and I am playing Key Day, which is the equivalent to Tuesday. Here, a fire genasi paladin with fiery colored hair and strange tattoos all down the sides of her face, and no memory whatsoever. And I am excited to find out what kind of creature has been talking psychically into my mind when no one else can hear it.
And it's not Henri for once.
That's true. It is, in fact, somebody different. How about Allison?
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm playing Selma, the fairy druid. She had an interesting time last week. She turned into some sort of light being, and now she sucked a man's life energy into her lantern. So that's another thing that's happening. I think she needs a nap, but other than that, she's doing good. She's doing good.
Naps are good.
Naps.
Okay. And Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen, also known as Darcerulish on the internet, and I'm playing a stray because she's a stray. And she got to kill things with daggers again, and that makes her happy. And she almost died falling off the glacier, but Selma the fairy saved me after everybody else missed me.
Wow, no shade or anything.
True, that happened.
See you.
That happened. I was there. I witnessed it. I changed out my dice today. I put different dice in my box.
Mine are at home.
And I'm ready to roll them sometimes. All right, let's catch our viewers up with what is known in the business as a recap. Our heroes, dwelling now in a place known as Munhalan, the city of arches, dwelling now because they once dwelled somewhere else. And for reasons forgotten to them, they are now here. They have fallen through portals or arches from other places and are here. Their memories are gone. They have been doing some work, one job, for an organization called the Seekers of the Sun, who are kind of an adventuring organization seeking cool artifacts about the arches and the passageways to the worlds beyond. While meeting for a nightly stroll, while Henri was working, they observed 3 falling stars that turned out not to be falling stars, but indeed to be 3 red knights of the so-called red pole star queen. I don't know why I made that so many words.
Because it sounds fey as fuck.
Realistically, I wrote it like 4 different ways in my notes. So there's like the red queen, the red star queen, the red pole star queen. Actually started out as the red pole star princess. Anyway, it's very fair, but they rushed out into the plains beyond the city walls to investigate one such touchdown, landing, whatever. Yeah, of course not knowing what it was. They encountered this red knight who crawled out of the crater, immediately saw that there was a fairy amongst them, and declared her errant and that he was going to bring her back. And they were like, no, we're not down with that. And so there was a fight and they beat this guy. And rushing back to the city, and then kind of while that happened, they saw the other crashes or landings, and there was a horn blow. And so they know that somebody was in the mountains. Rushing back to the city to investigate the one in the city, they found some dead folk around the Druid Grove, some fairies, and tracks leading them to believe perhaps that another such red knight has fled through an archway within the grove itself. Turning then to the mountain, they immediately, which I'm going to say right now is the kind of direct action I'm here for, immediately, without wasting time, rushed up the mountain, climbed the slippy, slopey glacierness, and found where this being was. Of course, as happens in Dungeons and Dragons, this being was or had entered into until now hidden catacombs up high in the mountains, with strange primordial arcane writings upon the doors. They entered and saw a much similar in color, but different in form, a satyr-like feller instead of a more fairy-looking, brownie, red cap looking guy. This guy was much more satyrly, much bigger, much more of a commanding presence. He, of course, then commanded some mechanically some ice methods, I believe they were, but some ice bounds guardians that attacked. He then turned and strode down further into the hall. There was a fight over a pit, and that was epic. And then a mysterious voice reached into Keydae's mind, and with a tone of ice moving across gravel, of the sound of a frozen river, spoke and called her I didn't write any of that down.
Hey there, sexy mama.
Said something not unlike hey, you know, bearer of fire, you can free me, I'm trapped, oh god, help me, you're my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Some kind of a queen. The arrogance of her enemy was greater.
Oh yeah,
Stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly
I
like that.
I write down stuff.
Somebody takes useful notes.
I make stuff up on the go, you know, and then I forget to write it down and never remember to go back and read it or watch it until it's like too late. But I remember most of it. And yeah, and they fought and killed that night guy, and here we are. So, my friends, you have defeated this Red Knight, and more importantly, as the stardust form of his body was wafting away into the higher reaches of this tomb or whatever. Selma, I had to remember your name.
No, I ate it.
Yeah, Selma
I ate it.
raised up her lantern, and his stardust was sucked within the lantern. And full disclosure, that for everyone, I decided after the fact, because I thought it was super cool, that advanced her weapons progress clock 1 tick.
Ooh, it feeds on souls.
Feeds on something.
Because that sounded rad and metal as hell. So I was like, you know what? That's the thing.
Gotta give that little that special secret sauce.
Yeah, right.
The secret sauce is murder.
It is murder.
And yeah, you stand here there are faintly kind of blue lightish kind of arcane braziers where the rocks are on the right by your tokens on the VTT. They're not rocks, they're braziers. I didn't take the time to throw braziers on there. That's fine. Yeah, you stand there. His red sword and horn have fallen.
Yoink. I'll just like lean over and pick up that sword. Anyone gonna take this?
Yes,
right, then.
I have a large collection of weaponry I keep in my apartment. I'm just fucking with you, my friend. Please.
Poly armory.
She's the new find.
Did I give you the other sword also? I feel like I maybe did.
Oh,
You had, yeah.
I did. Okay.
all right.
So you got both of them.
If I didn't have it before, I'll take it now.
Yeah, by all means, take the sort of black glass sword that
Yeah, I realize that there is definitely a theme happening right now. One of the party members wields a large crystal sword. You have just found a black glass sword and a red glass sword.
Look, it's important to have thematic elements that permeate a narrative, and apparently that's one of them. Let's go.
When I find something I like, I'm going to dig into it.
Hell yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And only two of you use swords, so
Yeah.
right.
Speaking of which, Henri still has his sword out and is just kind of looking around. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Ashley, but didn't Kide mention something about hearing a voice?
She did not mention it.
Okay.
Well,
So then he's still a little paranoid as to what this guy was up to.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not.
can
I'm
see-
not entirely sure. You might have heard her say something, but it wasn't like, "Oh, hey guys, I totally heard a voice."
We'll go with where we are right now.
Sure.
You
So,
can see in front of you is you can see a stairs leading down, and then that hallway to the right. If you're facing down the hallway, there is a similar sort of kind of blue arcane light from further on down, and then you can see the stairs that go up, kind of going straight down, and just beyond, kind of just beyond those stairs, you can see like rubble where feasibly part of whatever the structure is has collapsed.
Before Astray moves away from the chasm that where she killed the last Mephit, she's gonna grab like a stone or something next to her and drop it and see if she can hear it hit.
Okay. Yeah, give me a perception roll. Let's do that.
Astray, that's perhaps not the wisest.
14.
I really hope there's nothing down there.
Ping, pang, ping, pong.
Full of a took. All right.
Yeah,
The nature of the universe is such that it aligns itself for what is often most inconvenient at the moment.
you hear
A Balrog.
Yeah,
It's an icy
Damn
Balrog.
it.
the icy
An
You
ball.
ice frog.
shall not pass.
You hear the
I'm
faint
outta here.
You hear the faint like a faint kind of tink tink sound, or what, not like a metallic, but
Yeah,
of
like the rock
it
pinging.
striking probably other stone some way down. But ultimately this, as you look, like this chasm stretches into darkness.
Yep, it's a long ways down. And then she gets up and tries the
I was going to say perhaps it would be wisest for us to withdraw on account of, and just looks over at Selma, who is, I assume, still faintly like afterglowing, if nothing else.
Yeah, she is sort of standing there. I think at this point she's landed and is, I think, looking into her lantern, like, I guess as curious and unsure of what she's just done as anybody else.
Selma, we're friends, right?
Yes.
Oh, good.
If we will certainly maintain doing that, and we will ask all sorts of questions when it is appropriate when we are done with this.
I would
Let's-
would it be, because he was going to run down this hallway, would it be a good idea to take a peek down and see what he might have been going for?
I can sneak down there and take a look and see if anything looks out of place.
Astray, if I may ask you, were I to thump you heavily in the ear right now, would you fall over and pass out?
No. Once
Let's
I got
test
healed
that.
back up, I I actually am at 14 of 19 hit points, so I'm not doing too bad.
Oh, I would fall over.
Oh,
Yeah, you got messed up.
Astray will like just kind of stealth down the hallway to at least check out.
Henri, in fact, literally just does the, and then just
stealthy.
walks over and starts trying to bandage Kide up a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I
feels
don't-
nice.
I don't.
So
Well,
But
I
does,
rolled a natural 20
just,
for
like,
stealth,
openly
so I got a
nice.
28.
A 28, fuck. We're level 2.
so let me ask, I think the first pertinent question, are you in the middle of the hall?
I'm probably more like I tried to get
Okay.
myself in that little crevice, but
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so you kind of creep down to the corner, look, and you kind of find this little nook, and you can see, not unlike what you see here in the VTT, right? So you have a stairway that rises kind of at the end of this passage. You can see that there are two statues and kind of flanking the top of the stairs, and they are holding like bowls in their hands, and there is a similar kind of blue kind of arcane flame kind of in those bowls, illuminating faintly the kind of this passage. It's a weird quality light. You can see that up the stairs, you can you make out a sort of raised dais of some kind, and there is a block of ice, like the brightest, most primal blue. I don't know why those words sounded cool together, but they do. That's what it is. Primal
works,
blue.
go with it.
Yeah. And you can it's like a reverse heat haze.
Gotcha.
Like looking at this ice, it's like you can see the cold, right?
Not unlike dry ice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then you can see.
You're muted, I think, Allison, if you're trying to talk.
No, I'm not.
Now we can hear you.
I was just gonna really quickly, if I may, use my healer feat and my healer's kit to go up and patch up Key Day a little bit. I did just roll my dice, so you get 10 HP back.
You're much better at this than I am.
I rolled really good. And then it says plus additional HP equal to the creature's maximum number of hit dice. So I think however many hit dice you have.
Are we
That's
level
your
2?
level.
So that's
Yeah.
2.
2. So 12 HP back.
Ooh.
I believe that's how it works.
That's metal as fuck.
Yeah, I'm
So
only
you're the
short
healer
1
and the
hit
artillery.
point now.
Healer feat. Woo!
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that was
and then-
amazing.
and then you can just kind of make out kind of a faint kind of blue white light kind of coming from, you can't quite see where these doors are up the stairs. You can see the stairs, and you can kind of see a kind of a weird like shifting light, faint coming from there. Your angle, you
other
can't
set of
quite see
stairs?
the doors. Yeah.
Okay.
The ones to the south there,
Yeah.
where you can see I've covered that room in smoke because it is the fog of war. But yeah, you can't quite see the doors, but you can see the kind of light. And actually, it is not dissimilar from the kind of light, faint light that the kind of the runes or the script on the outer doors had.
I really appreciate the square that says rebel.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It has some
That's,
charm that I just.
I don't know. Can they see that on the stream?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
they
good.
should be able to. Yeah,
Good.
It's really small, but it says rubble.
brought to you by Dwarven Forge.
So
The
Astray
highest quality.
is
terrain.
feeling pretty confident in not being seen, so she does want to come up over and like just get to the bottom of these stairs to see what she can see.
Okay. Yeah, so you have a large set of doors. Not as big as the outer doors that you came through, but very large. They are covered in like overlapping, interlaced script that is kind of oscillates, white, blue, kind of very icy themed, right?
Primal blue.
And yeah, and kind of and like pulses and changes color, and do you, and I don't remember specifically, are you one of the people who can speak Primordial?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody but
Um,
me, I think.
Yeah,
we all
so
pick
this
we all
is,
picked Primordial.
Except for this
Came with
fucking
my
guy.
character.
it turns out you guys unlocked the key to this campaign. Yeah, so this is like Primordial Script. It is essentially a like massive spell of binding. There's a, there's a bunch of different stuff on there that it says, but all at the end of the day, it's a spell. Yeah, it's holding something in.
All right, she's going to sneak back to her comrades. Guys, there's another door, like the front door, that has those primordial glyphs as
Mhm.
another binding spell, and I think that's where he was headed.
We should fucking leave right now.
I agree.
I wasn't going to say anything, but so I think I heard the voice of something particularly large and powerful and menacing that happened to only talk to me in my brain.
One second, one moment. Kida, you're saying that a powerful entity from the edges of human comprehension, apparently, spoke directly to you in your mind, and you were not going to say anything?
Well, I'm not exactly trusting everything that happens in my mind. So
it sounds
true.
like a lot.
But in the future, please trust us with facts like that. We need to leave right now.
Yeah, I know that some of you may be running low because you're the spellcaster.
Kide, would you
and
pick
it
up a
takes a lot
stray?
out of you. So
And
all right, I'll
Henri just reaches
walk
over, picks up Selma, and makes for the door.
That's like Selma
Start
wasn't
walking.
even, I like that because Selma wasn't even suggesting. She was like, "Yeah, let's leave." But
Oh,
okay,
too bad we
we're
can't
going.
stay.
Okay.
Ride's here.
And just as soon as we get out, just release. I figured that was quickest.
However, Kide, please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, and actually, while she does that, if everyone could also give me a charisma saving throw, because I have to do that roll too.
What's a
Everyone
charisma?
or
So yeah, only
Okay.
you make the wisdom saving throw, but everybody will do a charisma saving throw.
That's the opposite of what I like.
I know.
Oh boy,
Because I got a 12 charisma saving throw.
I got
I
it.
mean-
I rolled a 2.
A 2. Okay, what for a total of
2.
I got a 6. I didn't get a 2 this time.
I got a 7 on the charisma, so
okay.
I apparently am doing second best.
I love any moment where somebody rolls really low and for a total of 2. Just
However, I did roll a 16 for my wisdom save.
Okay.
Well, someone came out well there.
Oh, hey, I didn't get the lowest charisma save
I
this
know.
time. That means somebody else is going to get memory.
You had like 3 sessions in a row.
I rolled a 1 the last 3 sessions.
That's impressive.
As you are making your way out, you
anyway.
yeah,
Memories.
Marisha did it in character.
I saw that one. Yes.
Oh, it's hilarious.
She's amazing. They're
Ah.
amazing.
As you are moving out of this tomb, I'm going to call it a tomb because that's what I wrote it down as. You feel Key Day, that presence, and it is less potent. There is something that perhaps as it connects with, as it attempts to connect with you, I think maybe there is a flare from your, oh, I know what I can do, from your yes, 100%, from your tattoos, your script flares with a internal light.
You guys all
And
just watch me just
you
I want to hear the sound effect too.
You do get one word kind of
Bitch.
comes through. Basic, no.
Bofa.
You this voice, it sounds like it had been saying something, and then one word kind of comes through and then it cuts out, and that word that comes through is Scrathe. Skrathe. Scrathe.
It's like a what are those fucking
It's like it's a dead Jewish person. A scrape.
no what?
That's what they come back as.
No, I was gonna say it's like one of the fucking box they use during ghost hunting shows where it's like it's great.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. I want to say shadow box, but that's not
No,
correct. It's not right.
Spirit box.
That's thank you. It was gonna be bothering
I'm not sure
me.
if that makes it any better.
No, I just
remember
what
I
it
had a
was
spirit
called.
box turn on by itself on me while we were ghost hunting.
Spooky.
It's like
Key Day, who is holding a stray as they're
are you
walking
carrying
towards the
her?
exit. Just
Just
over my
like a
shoulder,
sack.
like one shoulder. Yeah, kind of like where she's looking the opposite way.
Yep.
She's watching our back.
Right. And I'll just turn for a minute and go, rain check. And forward.
Oh, God.
Okay, if a stray is over her shoulder, could she have seen it flash? And I don't think we established what language her runes are in. Is it something I can read or not? I don't remember.
Yep. It is primordial.
And
What
as
are
noted earlier, it just says
what's-
Bofa.
So what does Scrathe mean?
Oh wait. What? Hang on. Back up. Sorry, I was flipping through screens. So
I don't
you
think her runes say. Oh,
No, I don't
Sorry.
think her. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the rune that lit up was the rune first.
Oh no,
Oh,
no.
no.
The ones
Her
on my
the runes lit up.
just in general, she kind of
Gotcha.
had she
Yeah,
flickered on and off for a second, and then
Yeah, it was like somebody turned the light bulb up on
Yeah.
the
Gotcha.
already kind of glowy ruins.
her,
And
her
Yeah.
magic
and
item
turned it
gives
down.
her bonuses to saving throws. That's part of its bonus, and so I keyed it. I
Good
weaved
choice
it in.
today.
I weaved it in.
very cool.
Like
And
it.
then she heard.
But
a
yeah, as
word.
you are kind of draped over her, you get perhaps a closer look at some of her tattoos.
And I have been
it's-
studying while staring at her while she sleeps in the house.
Yeah, you're up close and personal.
Don't
Why
be
not?
creepy staring at you.
I mean, she already watched me while I was sleeping, so
like,
we're friends.
yeah.
Now we weren't then.
We're just
I don't know if we
roommates.
were or not.
How to make
Yurt-
friends
yurt mates.
from a stray. Stare at someone while they're sleeping. Visualize becoming friends with them.
But not creepy.
It works for a
Not a creepy
stray.
way.
It's working on Critical Role.
It's
Clearly, this
working
is a
for
technique.
CG.
So we get out the damn doors is the important part.
Yeah, yeah. You get out the door. You step into the night, high mountain, glacial air.
Well, perhaps we should find a easier route down this time.
Hmm.
Just set Selma down.
Um,
I apologize. I was caught up in the passion of the moment.
I wish we could. It's a shame we can't sled down.
Astray wants to do a wayfinding check to see if she can't find an easier way down.
A lot.
I won't.
Okay.
That's a 19.
Yeah. You look kind of down and from this vantage and you have right now you have kind of 2 moons out, right? So there's a lot of light. You get a lot of reflected light.
And the crazy nebula sky too.
Yeah.
That's kind of gorgeous out.
It looks badass. Speaking of moons, I have finally finished, although I haven't judged it. I haven't judged it, but I have finished the calendar.
Nice.
So you'll get a PDF of that soon. Anyway, you can kind of see with the light from the moons. You can kind of pick out where you kind of came up, and you can see maybe reflected and whatnot. You can see perhaps an easier path down.
Hopefully I don't fall this time.
We'll see. And as she's looking, there's definitely a moment where Henri just kind of looks up and just kind of gets a little smile and inhales deeply of the frigid air.
Just let you get a little tiny hand on the back of your neck.
It is at least quite pretty and inhospitable.
Yeah, it's terrible up here.
And Henri just kind of looks and goes, do you prefer a warmer climate or a cooler climate?
I prefer a warmer climate. All of this just kind of makes my bones ache.
It could have been either way. That's why I asked. But Astray, you found a path?
Yes.
Do you think it will kill us?
It looks easier than the one we came up.
Then let us find out.
That idea.
All right. So let us do a bit of a brief travel montage.
It's a montage.
Traveling.
I will accept I'm just blanking every time I try to say somebody's name. Astray's role for wayfinding, for travel. What would the
I'll be right back. The dogs are whining. I need to let them out quick. I will return.
Jerk dogs.
I'll do a I forget what it's called, but keeping an eye out.
Keep watch.
Keep watch, yeah. Which is perception?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wizzo perception.
That's what I'm good. Oh, you know what? I have inspiration. So I'm gonna use that at the moment.
I did
You
give you
inspire
inspiration.
me.
Because it rolled bad. I rolled even worse. Okay.
Most impressive.
It's an 8 total. Or wait, sorry. 6 plus 5 is 11.
11.
That's the one. Mathematics. Okay.
Maya.
I would like to do like the keep watch, but instead of the looking for shit coming at us, more of the keeping watch to make sure that the 4 of us are doing okay. Kind of like, I want to do a bird dog roll. Just to let's keep everyone together and let's slow people down if they're about to go over the edge again, that sort of thing.
Okay. I can do that.
Which I figure is a perception roll anyway.
Yeah.
Just watching shit. Oh, wow. That is a 20 for a total of beep boop 22.
22. Nice. And key day.
All right. I would like to kind of assess the way that the snow and the ice are, to keep an eye out for slippery spots or instability in the snow and ice, with a nature check.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
I'm into it.
Okay.
Can I perhaps give you guidance?
Sure.
I can do that, right?
Let's say no.
It's not
Okay.
even.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Okay.
It's a 3. You've never been around snow before.
A 3. All right. I mean, the dice are telling us a story.
Your flames and heat are melting it just enough as you go that you slide.
Yeah. I think
You don't like snow.
We've
what,
just learned something.
Describe for me, if you would, a marching order.
I assume Astray is leading since wayfinding and all that.
And I
Okay.
presume from what I'm doing that Henri is at the back.
I'll
Be
probably
second.
I'll probably be second to last because I'm keeping an eye out probably by Henri.
Okay. And that I would imagine that Kide will then be in the middle. Oh, so big. There we go. All right, so you lot are picking your way down this path of best option, not really a path, but down you have a route that Astray is picking out. You have a fair number of lights that some of you carry,
At lantern.
and of course the light of the moons. And Henri, you notice perhaps as a thing is about to happen,
Oh no.
that there is a discoloration, barely perceptible, in the snow and ice, kind of at Astray's feet. And I will give you a reaction, as you rolled very well on your very specific action, which was a great choice. So Astray, please give me a dexterity saving throw as the hold on, Michael, hold on. As the snow and ice give way beneath you.
It makes sense that I wouldn't have seen this because everything is shades of red.
That's a 25. 'cause I
A
got a natural 19.
25.
Got a natural 19.
Fantastic. So the snow and ice gives way. And I think we're gonna combo this together. So you kind of are able to sense this as it's happening, and are able to kind of slow yourself Astray in order to, unbeknownst to you, give Henri a time, because I told him he would get to do something, and I'm going to give him that choice now.
Henri's going to throw out his hand, and he is going to shove Astray 5 feet backwards towards him, using the power of his mind. The rules define it as a push towards or away from. So it's like push towards.
I guess that makes, yeah, that's okay.
Well, I guess if it's a mental push, it's not.
Get over here.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's like acceleration and deceleration. Deceleration isn't real. It's just negative acceleration. Anyway,
he negatively accelerates Astray.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So you kind of feel perhaps like the back of your cloak get pulled, and you kind of catch yourself and get pulled back as a we'll say
Does she clunk into me, or do we have
Yeah.
more room between us?
yeah, there's probably the representation on the VTT here is just to have a marching order. It's not a it's not a specific measurement thing. So I mean, if you want to be right up on her, you can bump into each other, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But like a 7 foot wide kind of crevasse opens kind of at your feet, and it's maybe 30 feet long. Like you can see it just kind of, this huge section of ice and snow kind of gives way.
That could have ended very poorly.
That's no good.
At least I didn't fall this time.
Very
I don't
true.
know. I don't know if I could have done that a second time.
You were a big,
He
strong
is-
fae, and we believe in you.
Astray is gonna be like, hey Selma, take the rope and a couple of these pythons and like get it secured on the other side, and we'll use the rope to get across.
Good idea. I will haul those across, and I guess I would like to make an investigation check for to find a nice solid maybe bit of rock rather than
Absolutely.
ice.
Yeah, I like it.
Very nice, very nice. That's 19 total.
Oh, absolutely. You find like a perfect spot to kind of pound in some pythons and secure this rope to that is not going to shatter and give way.
Hell yeah.
Once Henri puts his
Yeah, I'll
moderate build upon it.
I'll hammer everything in, and then
He is still dense, I imagine. There's no way that muscle weighs a lot.
I'll hammer it in and then bring, I guess, the other
End of the
end
rope
of the rope.
back.
Yeah, I don't really know how. I don't know. I don't know how the physics works. So I'll bring the other end of the rope back to them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You have one end of a rope on one side of a chasm. You have another end of the rope in whoever is holding its hands.
Tie off and jump. Okay, ladies first.
Well, first we should investigate this side for a good tie-off point.
Why are we tying it off?
So you can walk across it like a tightrope.
Oh, see, that's why I was
Or-
confused. I didn't know how this was going to work.
Little
Yeah,
slack-
I figured we
little
put it
slack line
across.
action.
I figured we put it across and then we can swing down and use it to cross and climb back up.
Yeah,
Just kind of looks at
ranger
Key Day.
crawl.
It's only 7 feet wide.
I'm small.
I mean,
Sure.
should we toss her?
I feel that would be, while effective, not particularly polite and healthsome to her pride.
Who knows if there's not another crevasse on the other side that you throw me into?
Or just a giant sheaf of ice and you just slide like a mile down the mountain.
So we'll let Astray finish whatever she's doing.
Well, I rolled an 18 to find a good spot on this side to tie off the other end.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You now have a well secured rope on either end of this crevasse. So that you
So
may
Astray's going to
cross.
use it to get over and then be like, see, I made it.
As Astray, give me a perception roll with disadvantage because you are climbing. I think. I don't even know why I made you roll. I'm going to give you the information anyway.
Can they just give it to her? Go, go, go.
I know, but I
That was a
like making
5.
people roll stuff. A 5. Yeah. It'll just be slightly less information. As you're kind of hand over handing, you notice a number of what you can only describe as bones protruding from various portions along the walls of the crevasse.
She's gonna stop and try and take one. She likes
For
to
her
steal
bone
from the
collection.
dead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Give me give me an athletics roll.
You got any skulls down there? Like little ones.
My athletics is a -2. Remember,
yeah.
so this is gonna be entertaining.
Me
Can stop anytime. you
5.
want to.
a 5. Yeah, you're like just at the far side, and you can see a number of bones. You can maybe see further down the crevasse there's maybe some kind of pile of bones of some kind, and you can see a few frozen bits of bones, to include perhaps what would be Michael, what's the fucking arm bone? Is it the
Radii?
Radii? Yeah.
There's
Radius.
ulni and radii.
Yeah. Like an arm bone of some kind, of radii perhaps, sticking out right within your grasp, and you reach for it and almost pull yourself off of the rope, but it is frozen fast.
Damn it! I wanted that bone. Is all you guys hear from it.
Please get out of the crevasse.
What are you doing down there?
There's bones sticking out of the ice, and I wanted to see if I could get one. And she kind of like swings her legs up over the rope and climbs up over the edge.
You've got your
That's
own.
creepy.
You've
If
got
there
your
are
own
Bones in there, that implies this is, and he just looks down. After you, I recommend jumping.
I'm pretty sure this is another burial spot that's just been frozen over and forgotten.
Or perhaps this is the mouth to some sort of large ice creature. Would you like to jump now, Kide, or should I?
The crevasse is a mimic.
It's an Alaskan.
Giant.
It's the Alaskan bullworm.
I will actually use my strength to arm over arm across the crevasse.
I'm not even gonna make you roll.
It's only 7 foot wide, right? Okay.
I am not dexterous.
I've watched quite a bit of The Floor is Lava on Netflix, and I have seen plenty of people miss 5-foot jumps when their shoes are slippery. So
That's fair.
Somebody, I can't remember what it was. I think it was like a Twitter or a Tumblr post that was like, people always get mad when you can't jump in video games. Think to yourself, when's the last time you jumped at all?
3 weeks ago?
And I'm like, I don't think I've jumped since I was a child. I have no idea.
Because so my assumption here, Chad, is that jumping is an athletics strength thing, right?
yeah, if you want to jump, I'm gonna make you roll. But if you want to use the tool that's there, you won't have to roll.
I'll let Kide finish what she was going to say.
I have to think that with my fire genasi heritage, I'm probably gently melting anything that's nearby. You know, just from the heat of my body being higher than the average person's, things are getting just a little slippery.
It's like this back of your toilet in the summertime when it's really humid and it gets that, it
Condensation.
sweats. Yeah, the condensation. It's just
Well, your
everything
brain
has
was
a,
like toilet. That is what
Not a glass of water.
To
Not a-
distract from
Not a-
everything that just happened,
a cool beer. No,
Henri is just,
I've
he's going to
seen a
climb hand
toilet.
over hand
I love
because
it.
really it's the easier way. And do that, climb out, and then use his invisible mage hand to pull the python from the other side and pull that in the rope back over.
how strong is your mage hand?
Mage handy.
I could also do it. I fly.
Yeah,
I
your
was
mage
trying
hand
to
is
be
not,
useful.
your mage hand is not strong enough to pull out a python that did not come out when your bodies were on it.
Fine.
Fair.
I do
I'll-
nothing.
I'll go retrieve it for you.
Yeah.
For
A
level
spray
2,
paint
we're
you
barely
so she
useful.
doesn't lose it.
We're level 2. How deep can we have possibly pounded that pipe in?
I don't know. Somebody got a 28 stealth earlier, so
That
We've
is
true.
we've
true. That
had
was
we've had some
ridiculous.
very incredible
Yeah.
rolls or so.
But yeah,
And
the
then we
rest of
continue.
your journey down the mountains, kind of back to the Temple of the Three Goddesses, is uneventful,
As we
pleasant
go.
for some of you, because of course it gets warmer the further you go down the mountain. Kind of once you're out of like direct range of the glacier, it's like it jumps rather quickly into the kind of the cooler but
Balmy.
still heat of the night that sticks around.
It's jacket weather now.
Jacket weather.
Yes.
As we go down, Henri is just kind of going to say out loud, my first instinct is to report all this to someone, but it strikes me that there's no one really to report this to, is there? Who would be in charge of things have happened upon a glacier?
I mean, we
Well-
could probably go to whoever the contact is at the Seekers of the Sun. They're an adventuring group. They might know who we can go tell.
There might be like a leader of the fairy grove. They should know if people are trying to come here and attack fairies.
That of that I think it will be hard to avoid talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it would probably be a good idea. I know I told all the fairies to go, or at least everybody that was in the grove to run out into the main city, so that if that guy came back through the portal, he wouldn't kill anybody else.
And it sounded like they were going to Savage and Gams.
Yeah, actually, I do remember that.
I could
So-
most definitely use a pint.
There was I believe a leprechaun.
Oh yeah, there was a leprechaun. That's right.
They're
You
going
made
on
the
a
right
bender.
decision.
Better get there before they drink the place dry.
Yeah.
Then let us make haste. As much
So
as we
if-
can, kind of battered and bruised from a hell of an
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah.
If a stray doesn't need to drink or eat anything, and stuff tastes gross to her anyway,
Mhm.
can she still get drunk though?
That might be an
Embalming fluid.
I guess so. Right, we could look at it. That's a great question. We could say, I think one very obvious thing, and say whatever you want. Right, this is a part of this is your narrative. So if you want to get drunk, that's fine. We could look at it mechanically. Do you have any resistances to poison?
Yeah.
Not unlike dwarves. So maybe you can get drunk. It just takes you quite a bit longer.
I have resistance to poison and also have advantage against being poisoned or
Yeah.
diseased. So
I think
it'd take a lot.
I think since we are kind of, I feel like since narratively we've discussed that you're not necessarily that you as a character know this per se or not, but that you're not necessarily all dead,
Yeah.
that perhaps there is still a little bit of part of you that could get drunk. But that's up to you. I'll leave that up to you.
She can try eventually.
Fucking A, yeah.
I mean, do you like drink blood or anything?
No,
I mean,
I'm not a
to
vampire.
replenish
I
your-
just don't need anything.
Bodily fluids?
No.
Nothing?
I
Do you
mean,
get
I also don't really
dehydrated and-
use bodily fluids except for blood. So
Can I? This might be interesting. I know because I know we decided a week or two ago that you do bleed, but
Yes.
but rather sluggishly. So I imagine, at least for blood alcohol content, it just probably takes you a lot longer, or it like it's just a slower. You
right, because
really
it takes
don't-
longer for it to go through my body.
Yeah.
You'll drink like a keg, and then like 2 weeks later, you're just randomly just fucked.
Yeah, it's just like really delayed. You were really
Awkward.
delayed out.
Cat says that it'll take longer to sober up too.
Yeah, right.
Sorry,
That just sounds like an awful proposition all around.
hey, we got to think about these things.
So yeah, so you're gonna head to Savage and Gams.
Yes.
Is that
I
what I'm
believe
hearing?
so.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Are we coming down in a way that I don't really want to stop there, but if are we coming down in a direction that like we can maybe see or hear if there's kind of like commotion going on in the Fairy Grove?
Yeah, so the way that you kind of went up was kind of from the Grove side. Otherwise, you would have had to climb up the elevators into the second rise,
And nobody likes
which
those
is
people.
on the right hand side of the map, like 7 and 4
Mhm.
on the map. Which I know that it has been said that it's hard to read number 7, and I haven't fixed it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can easily go back. There's a well-worn trail cleared of ice and snow or rubble and things that it probably even has a mild like tiki torch lights here and there, marking the path, because you're also kind of coming down through the Cliffs of the Dead, and there are people who keep like maybe midnight vigils on ancestors' graves or whatever, at sometimes. So there, yeah. So yeah, long story short, yes.
Yeah, I just want like as we're going down the mountain, if I can maybe just keep an eye out to see if there is any like commotion going on in other
Okay.
parts, just as a like
We're gonna go right by them by the looks of it. So yeah, definitely.
yeah, like have things calmed down? It's
Yeah, so a lot of so kind of as you come down out of the Cliffs of the Dead into the Grove, you can see a lot of again, it's many hours later, and you can see that kind of much of the disarray that had happened earlier is still kind of about, there's like so and so, old so and so, who kind of came out in a hurry, and there's like left some stuff on the front door of his yurt or whatever, and so there's a few messes. You can see a number of like kind of cook fires or kind of just campfires that people kind of light out, especially in kind of the yurt areas, have now kind of burned low. But you also see that there are a small handful of golden knights that kind of are moving, just kind of you can see a few kind of holding lanterns, just kind of stationary, and then there's like maybe like 2 groups of 3 that are kind of walking around, just kind of patrolling, maybe 1 group of 3 kind of patrolling, and then you also see the form of the person, Selma, as Grayson One Eye, the kind of the head druid of the Grove, with a couple of acolytes, and they're kind of the acolytes are kind of off on one, so you can kind of see him moving, and you can see that Grayson is kind of sitting with his back to a small fire, kind of ultimately watching the that big portal that's in the Grove. And you can see, as a person I think attuned to the druidic ways, albeit different, oh yeah, this guy's an arc druid.
Oh shit, an arc druid.
An arch druid in the city of Arches. You can see that he has perhaps some spirit, some kind of nature spirits kind of hovering about him as he keeps his vigil. And a group of the Golden Knights approach as you kind of, as your group enters near the grove. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
They kind of like you like, are you red guys?
Oh, we killed the last one.
What do they no, that's what their look says.
She still says that out loud. I almost
Fair
guarantee it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're a little
Um,
roughed up, like not entirely, but a little scuffed up. We've been fighting.
Yeah.
They the kind of the guy who spoke says, you're the ones who went up the mountain.
Yes. And we have returned.
You saw a battle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this cool sword she got.
You should see the other guy.
Well, the other one is dead.
Well, you can't see
Um,
the other one because he's kind of stuck in a lantern now.
Dead
do you
is
mean?
enough for the moment.
Hmm.
Strange things are afoot on the glacier.
Oh, and we found a place that has glowy ruins, and we think
Glowy.
it's binding
There's-
something
There is a set of ruins up in the glacier that was
Oh.
with runes.
with the intent of
Runes
one
in
of the,
the ruins.
knights.
Yes, runes in the ruins.
They were unsavory, and
It's binding magic, and it's keeping something in there.
Astray, are you familiar with the parable of this man who was silent?
Nope.
That was what
Sorry,
I was
bro.
afraid of.
What he
It's been taken care of though. We killed it was a satyr, a lot like the glowing
oh
beetle fell out in the field.
Hmm.
I have him in here,
Hmm.
sort of.
he's
When-
gonna make a roll to resist being super weirded out.
I'm gonna take like 2 steps away from her as she
Oh, yeah.
like lost.
He's only slightly weirded out. This is a city where weird shit happens. So he's like,
She's just like
What?
it's a magical lantern, and when he died, he turned into sparkling dust, and it went into my lantern. She kind of like holds it to her chest for a second, and she's like, I think everything's okay now. But one of them went through the archway in the grove. And he's the one that killed Herb.
yes, old One Eye's keeping an eye.
the one eye.
Damn it. He's watching out. What? You know what I mean? It's late. Ugh.
Or early if you
Or yeah, I suppose.
work the night shift.
He pulls out a notebook.
One of
He's
those
like,
yellow legal pads. He goes,
Yep.
As he's doing that, Astray kind of slinks back towards Henri and is like, so you're telling me I should stay silent. So I should run by you? What I tell people?
Later.
Okay.
He says, what are your names again? You're Henri. I think I recognize you.
I'm just Astray.
All right. Mm-hmm.
KJ.
I'm Selma.
Selma. And do you live here in the Grove? He says, kind of, looking at Selma.
Yes.
Oh, we do now too.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, we just rented out a yurt. And I was wondering if there's someone I could talk to about rent reduction. I mean, I wasn't
that
aware it
sounds
was
like
going to
a
be so
landlord problem.
murdery of a neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a rather unusual occurrence. And he's just kind of writing down a bunch of stuff. And he says, yeah, somebody will be by at some point, perhaps to talk about, ask some questions about this. Ruins and the ruins that you, yeah, that sounds
Ominous.
weird. Yeah.
Both words are accurate.
Again, not entirely out of reason. Like,
Well, I can't imagine no one knows about it. I mean,
It is
you'd be
so
surprised.
close to town.
It is a city of mysteries, after all.
Henri's face just full of emotions reacting to all of that.
How about we go talk to Grayson One Eye? Maybe he can help us out a little bit more. Thank you for your time, sir. And she's gonna try and like shove the whole
Yes,
group
and just starts going as well.
away.
And
I'll
the
just
minute
say-
we're
He
The
says,
minute
yes,
we are-
thanks for your assistance, citizens. Carry on.
you're welcome. And the minute they're out of like earshot, Henri just looks down to a stray and goes, we're careful what we say to people in positions of power because they will ask questions, and we do not always want them to ask those questions on their terms instead of our terms.
Oh, and also
Oh,
we
were
don't
trying to
tell
talk
people about the treasure that we grab because they'll want some of it.
Okay, that's fair. I didn't think that one through. I just get all jittery and impatient if I'm not actually out there doing the thing.
Kide, from now on, you are on translation duty for Astray. I think you speak her language.
Well, she is my emotional support undead.
She would.
But
Cat, we need a new shirt.
I also just don't. I didn't like the idea of telling all those, everybody, the gold knights. I keep wanting to say the gold cloaks, which is a song of ice and fire, which is a different thing. I just didn't like the idea of telling them everything because that thing up there, it feels. Oh, it
If the
feels
wrong
like
people go looking for it, bad things will happen.
yeah, and I do
Oh.
feel weirdly. I do feel at least partially involved with the fact that they seemed to be specifically after me.
so we need to talk about the fact that you're a criminal.
It
So
seems
you're a
I
criminal.
I think maybe they're the bad guy. Am I the
I don't
bad
know. Like you,
No,
they said you're a criminal and you steal souls.
we
I
don't
didn't-
know if that is out of character for the Fae, to be fair. Additionally, I think this is more of a political issue because the notion that a new queen has ascended in a location and sent knights out with intent and writ against other citizens seems indicative of a coup that is attempting to clean house and remove potential political opposition to their new position.
Is Selma currently flying around us, or is she like, stationary in one spot, maybe like actually standing?
I think at this point she's probably standing amongst you guys. She tends to sort of hover to stay at eye level.
A stray kind of crouches down and like sits cross-legged and doesn't have to duck real low to be on here.
Yeah, she should.
And it's like, are you a princess, Selma?
Don't know.
Oh, that's
For all we
fair.
know, we are all
I
princesses.
could be a princess too. What? That's gonna do my head in.
And if it makes anyone feel any better, when I did this, she holds up the lantern. I wanted to help. That's how I felt like I wanted to help.
Selma, when Henri voices his
Diatribe.
his
His whole
his
thing.
conspiracy theory, something about that strikes true somehow to you. You have a sort of, I don't know, you have one of these, we're calling them flashbacks, but you have a thing happens, and it happens right now. You feel, like when you're
Deja vu.
like dehydrated,
Oh yeah.
or like
A kind of out of body floaty feeling.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you kind of feel your, right, like your spirit lighten a bit, and you kind of see that kind of fiery fall, right, that you've seen before in a vision 5 episodes ago. And you see in this, what you see now and what you kind of experience is less of a direct kind of memory or flash experience, and more of a like a third person kind of dream experience in a way.
Okay.
But you see a similar kind of fiery fall. You see the night, you see it kind of the fire like whoosh, and like a nightscape kind of clears like around and beyond you. You see a palace of like white, like quartz like crystal, and a fairy tale fucking palace, right? Towers.
It's just
waving,
it's a bunch of the tower from Neverending Story.
100% waving pennants,
Yes.
you see a number of fey beings of various sorts that are winged, flitting around the towers. You see tiny dragons with butterfly wings, and other various kind of creatures. You see what in the star stuff that makes up your bones to be the hall of the, oh no, why did I fucking close the page? I do this every fucking time. You see the hall of the fallen queen, as she kind of holds court over her court, your court, your pint,
Yes.
your court, the court of fallen stars, and the hall is ringed by kind of knights in a white kind of yellowish armor that you know of as the Twinkling Knights.
Kind of want to join them.
I know, right? And you see the kind of in this vision, like as it is kind of fading, you see that whoever you are, or whatever you are, whatever this is, that the queen on her throne sees you, makes eye contact with you, and as the vision fades, mouths something. You can see her mouth begin to move, but the vision fades. And Henri is there, and he's like, "Oh,
Seems like a
perhaps there was a
political-
change of power. They're consolidated," whatever he was saying.
And I just went full.
No, I know that look. That means I've been talking too much. It happens.
No. I saw something. It was a memory. Phew. I think you're right, Henri. A lot, or at least a lot closer to the truth than you maybe were thinking. But no, there was a beautiful palace, and the Queen of Fallen Stars. Is that what that would?
Didn't
Yeah,
he tell you what the
I
errant star? Does that
just
mean you were
remember.
part of the court?
maybe.
Perhaps it is
She
important.
saw me, and she was gonna say something, but she didn't. I didn't catch what she said.
Perhaps it would behoove us to find someone who understands something of the ways of fairies in their homes.
Does anyone here remember anything about fairies in their homes? They have to have not come through a gate.
I would
I mean,
allow
somebody could have
a history
remembered.
roll if somebody to
I'll
see if
roll
any of
history.
you happen to know anything about
I
fairies.
actually have a pretty good history because of archaeology. I'll give it a try.
I have religion trained. Would that cover aspects of this?
No.
Okay,
No,
that'll check. Oh well, it's still an 18 total.
not bad.
I only got a 17.
I got 23 because I got natural 20.
I got a rock. Sorry.
Damn.
I don't get the natural 20s when I actually need them.
Right. Let's do this. I will give you information that you remember after we return from our break.
Ew.
So, my friends, viewers, thank you for hanging out with us, experiencing the madness of this story as it unfolds along with us. It is appreciated. We're going to take a break to refresh some beverages, perhaps, or do the things that we need to do. When we come back, we'll return. It'll be great. While we're gone, if you would like to support the channel, there is a link that somebody might throw into the chat if you're watching live to our the channel's Ko-Fi or Coffee if you're not me, where you can buy coffees, or you can give the players a variety of boons. There is a list of things there that you can do, things like advantage, give them magical coins from the makers. You can be immortalized as an NPC, or you could give a message to a loved one or somebody that you strongly like, as long
Happy
as
birthday
whatever this
shout out.
happy birthday, yeah, as long as whatever this message is isn't like ridiculously obscene. I might consider like
Just
a
mildly
diss rap.
obscene?
I might consider a diss rap,
Oh, that'd be great.
maybe, I don't know, we'll see.
We also have
Um,
merch. Michael's
also-
wearing some of that merch.
Yeah, we have wonderful merch. Words are hard, y'all. Designed by our very own ultimate producer of power, Cat, aka Adam Knox. So yeah,
Not that cat. Not the cat we're seeing. A different cat.
that's Slurpee. But yeah, so we're gonna take a break. You should take a break. We'll be back in like 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Oh, hey, welcome back. I
Just,
hope
I'll
you're
just put half my face down here.
there. You go. I can't. I can't do it. Hey, welcome back. I hope your break was as refreshing for you as mine was for me. And I can only imagine as
I heard you
my
killed a
friends.
guy on your break.
I mean, he deserved it.
That's fair.
It was his
Yeah.
time.
But yeah, we're back. We're gonna get into it. Buy merch,
Consume.
consume.
Or in the great words of Peter Steele, please buy our product.
Please buy our product. Thank you. Tell all your friends. Yes. So you have just had 2 very successful history rolls. Let me ask you, I guess let's do this. Let me ask, so ultimately your history rolls were to try to see if you knew anything about fairy stuff.
Fairy shit.
I would say to you, what sort of thing are you looking for?
I think mine would be involved with because I did have that memory that came to me of excavating what looked like fairies, that I would consult my journal and
Okay.
see what I could learn from there specifically about fairies.
Oh, nice. I like it. And Henri, what are you looking for?
I feel like I would reference back to what I would feel the knowledge that burbles in the back of his head would be. Is very much, he knows like high points, high dry points. Like, someone had, handed you a list of important things to know when you get involved with Fae. Here's the lay of the land. So,
Okay.
and because he rattled off everything about politics, I think he'd be thinking about like, what is it possible that this was political? Do they have queens? How does that
Sure.
work?
Let's oh boy, let's see. Hang on. Let me get to my session 6 game notes page. I feel like I'm gonna have to take some notes here as I make some stuff up. Well, as I put things together in a new and interesting way. So I'm gonna start with with Astray and her, because you rolled a natural 20 again. Good gods, woman. And so yeah, you consult your journal, and although you don't, you probably consult your journal a lot to try to figure stuff out. I would imagine. Maybe you don't. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But you are kind of have become adept perhaps at like paging through stuff and kind of skimming, even though you're not, it's like reading a textbook, right? Because it doesn't feel real.
I imagine part of the time that she should be sleeping, but she just because she only needs the 4 hours of like zoning out kind of thing, that any other
Stupid
part
elves.
of the time that other people are sleeping, she'd be looking at her journal.
Yeah.
Or the map box.
And you come across a like a section with some notes in it about like a series of excavations and finds, and two of these finds were burial mounds, and they had 2 of them had essentially it describes kind of the same sort of thing that you saw in that vision, right? Very similar kind of armor and iconography to these guys that you have found or that you had just fought, right? And the second, or rather the third kind of part of this grouping of finds, I guess scholars would describe as a charnel pit, perhaps. And it was kind of positioned. An interesting thing that you've noted, or some that whoever wrote this, feasibly you, right, has noted in the journal, is that all these kind of these two mounds and then this pit were aligned with a constellation that I'm not going to attempt to make up right now, but
Fair.
I'm writing
That's
myself
wise.
a note. Make up a constellation.
So I apologize if you guys see me gesturing in the background. Slurpee is meowing at me, and I don't know what he wants.
Cat things.
It's
Cat
just
things. Yeah, tuna
being-
probably.
I've already. Well, I guess I could feed him.
Fey burial. Okay. I'll come back to you on that. But so it's aligned. It's noted that it's aligned with this constellation. And the two burial mounds have, I think I said there were like the one in the vision had like, there were like one or two bodies in it.
There were three. One had the
Three?
iron crown, one had the amulet, and then there was another one.
And the other burial mound is like functionally identical, like very similar, kind of sized, everything same kind of accoutrement. The charnel pit had a jumble of remains in it, hacked to pieces, right? Kind of
Mass grave
desecrated, right? And they had a similar kind of armor pieces were buried here with these desecrated corpses, as she kind of described, if she described it, but they were like, as I described in the vision to her that you were,
Yeah.
of course, as a player witness to, with that kind of weird kind of white yellow kind of iridescence, and there were like probably a dozen in this pit. And there was also a not unsubstantial like hoard, essentially, of coin of various types found in the charnel pit, which, as is noted in the journal, is a little strange. More oftentimes in burials, there'll be grave goods, weapons, armor, whatnot, and then of course riches in the burial pit, or in the burial mound. But this was kind of in some ways a little bit of the opposite. The coin was in this charnel pit. Yeah. And there was a tablet that had been found as well, that was kind of like placed on top of the pit, as it was excavated. That was kind of the first thing that was found. And the author of the journal had been having, it's noted that they had been having, ostensibly, it's weird that I describe it like this, but had been having difficulty kind of translating, excuse me, this tablet. It was kind of a strange wood tablet, but it was not degrading over time.
Would it be feasible that she had drawn what it had said in the journal?
Yeah, I think there's probably like a Grail diary rubbing of it, very Henry Jones Sr. kind of rubbing. Absolutely, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of talks about like, I'm having trouble kind of translating this. It's similar to some of the Fey language, but it's some of maybe it's an older
Dialect.
vernacular dialect. Yeah. And then there's like the next page is like a rubbing of it, or a picture, however you would have done it. Yeah, I think that's
that's a
that
lot.
seems good. That seems good.
Yeah.
And Henri.
Sorry, did anybody see that?
Nope.
On my
I saw nothing.
screen,
Slurpee on X Games mode.
he literally leapt from nowhere, jumped off my shoulder, and then kept going. Like it was a quick boom boom.
Parkour.
I'm sorry.
Henri, you cast into your mind, into your memories, searching for political information, right? And you for some reason that the Fae are not bound in silver. They do not exist in the same kind of dual nature that many other beings do. There are a number of courts, as some would call it. This description that she gives to you doesn't ring a bell in your mind, but you do recall, thinking about political discourse, you do recall that there are two courts that you recall that are constantly locked in opposition and kind of mildly open warfare. that exist, one of the pit and one of the mound. But they're somehow, you know this, right? But their iconography is much different. Kind of what has been described and what you indeed have seen it are much more celestially minded, right? And the experience you have somewhere in the past, the knowledge of Fae is much more earthly minded.
And I have the impression, just because of the experience, that it's just a recall of information without context. Which is something I experience on a semi-regular basis and think it's kind of neat. But so there's definitely just kind of a, the Fae are not
great.
bound in silver. Sorry. I recall that there are courts in the Fae world, which seems like this may just be me making an assumption from them speaking of queens, but there are organizations among certain groups of Fae that call themselves courts, and they do conflict. Perhaps this is what we're seeing.
Astray will kind of look up from her journal and be like, well, I'm 90% sure I wrote this journal. I don't really remember, but it lines up with a memory I had, so I think it's me. But there was excavations wherever I'm from of 3 sites that lined up with this constellation, and there was 2 burial mounds, and that's where I had seen the amulet before. And then there was a 3rd one that was just a pit of bodies in pieces. And there was this tablet on top of it, but it looked like Fae writing, but like archaic. I made a rubbing of it, and like she'll show Selma to see if Selma can read it.
Can I read it?
Turns out you don't speak Fae.
Give me 1 second. I'm just writing
Down everything that just came out of his
mouth. I'm writing myself some notes real quick.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, that's why that is like that. Okay. All right. Sorry, that was just me coming up with a reason why that is a thing, which means I have to write a second note. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Selma, give me a history roll as you kind of check out this rubbing or translation or transcription or whatever.
19.
19.
Actually.
God, yeah.
Holy shit.
I rolled an 18. I only have a +1. It's not.
It's okay. It's still good.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, as a DM, sometimes you're prepared for all the good rolls, and sometimes you're not prepared for all the good rolls.
Or you're prepared for the wrong good rolls.
I'm prepared for the wrong good rolls, right? Yeah. So you read this tablet, and it like it's an old dialect that you somehow like intrinsically, you know, this, like you start reading it and you look at it and you're like, okay, that's this. It's almost that kind of
it's like when you can recognize a Latin word because you know the English word that came from it. Like
And it's a little, like that, or like when you're like, when you're on like year 4 of a foreign language and you're like, yeah, okay, I can see, I'm picking up what I'm putting down now. And you kind of read it and engage mentally with it, and there's maybe a like a minute or two as you're kind of working through what it says, and some things you recognize right away, and some things you kind of pick up other things as you get words around them, and things kind of make sense, and you're like, oh yeah, that's the root of this word and this kind of stuff. And this these words, this tablet, is a declaration of offering. And it's that these and it uses a word like foes,
Like
but not in like a nice way.
Yeah, like these bodies of we're basically saying, look, we killed all your enemies.
It's saying we killed these people, our enemies, and this we have made of their flesh. Okay. And indeed their spirits, an offering, and this coin, and these goods, an offering. Oh, slumberer between the stars. I have to write that down.
That sounds like a big bad if ever there was.
Yes. I will relay that to the group and say, this is it's sort of like an offering plaque. Like the bodies you found were specifically murdered, and handed over with offerings to, I guess, someone else.
And what did the plaque say?
A declaration of offering that these foes were an offering was made of these foes of their flesh and spirits, as well as the coins and goods, O slumberer between the stars.
That last phrase comes out and you see Henri's eyebrow twitch and his face goes blank for a minute.
There is a hollowness that takes your soul, and you do not like that.
That is bad in a way that I have neither the words nor the memories to speak. That is a very bad phrase, and I'm very worried about it.
Do you guys think, because Kide, you heard that voice when we were in the ruins, and now Henri, I don't recognize that phrase, but you, at least some part of you does. And then of course they are trying to arrest me. Do you, things seem interconnected? Maybe.
On a certain level, all things are interconnected, but this seems far more immediate.
Yes, everything is a circle and everything comes back to the beginning, but
well
literally.
Are you saying that you think that thing up in the mountain is the slumber between the stars?
I don't know. I know that
I hope not.
Henri was very scared up there, and he just looked real scared hearing that.
Well, he just doesn't like very strong creatures that want to eat us.
Well, that's true. I just mean to say maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but it does seem to be some sort of that the red fairy beings were coming after me, but they were also up in that ruin looking for something. I don't know. It all just seems a little intentional.
They were definitely looking for specific things, going straight for the temple, the Druid Grove with all the fairies, and then the one that
He didn't get very far.
apparently looking for you.
A poor choice on his part. I believe it is best if we continue with our plan to Savage and Gams. I would like a drink.
I imagine
And
it's
a
like
moment to collect
stopped
my
under a
thoughts.
tree and had this conversation.
Agree. I will, on our way to Savage and Gams, I will stop by Grayson One Eye really quickly.
Yeah, he's like right over there.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
like
gonna...
like 10 feet from you guys.
We've been talking quiet. And some of us have been having flashbacks. It's all right. But I'll skip over to him and a little tug on his sleeve. Excuse me, Grayson.
He, let me
Sorry.
just no,
No, the way you were looking off in the distance, I wanted to be like, no, down here.
I was looking at my no, I was pulling up my my page about Grayson.
Yeah, it's all good.
So Grayson is a half elf. He is even though dwelling in ultimately, in the grove in a city, he is rather wild kempt. He has uneven blonde hair, narrow blue eyes, and a long face. And by narrow blue eyes, I mean narrow blue eye, because he, of course, does in fact have one eye.
Just the one.
His large black wolf is resting at his feet as he kind of sits on a log. The wolf is eyeing you. As a druid who has engaged with him before, that his wolf is also named. Why did I use a name generator to pick up?
I so thought you were gonna say his wolf is also named Grayson One Eye.
His wolf is also
and he's missing the opposite eye.
Junior. It's just the other. This is Grayson One Eye Junior. Yes.
His wolf is named Lutheli.
Great.
Yeah. And he kind of turns slowly towards you, and you can see kind of as he turns to regard you, that it is it takes a bit of effort, that perhaps whatever he is doing because you can still see the kind of spirits above him. And he says, he turns to you and says, kind of in his slow way, Selma, it's good to find you well.
Yeah. Listen, me and my friends had a very long evening, and we'd probably like to come and talk to you tomorrow about things that happened tonight. You probably want to hear about them, especially given what happened in the Grove. And also, I think you might be able to help us out, at least with maybe figuring out what the heck is going on. But for right now, I'll let you get back to what you're up to, and we'll maybe meet you tomorrow.
Yes. As you say, tomorrow.
Okay.
I must.
Yeah, you do your thing.
Keep vigil here.
Gotcha. I might give Lucelli a little pat on the head and skitter my way back over to the group.
He like nudges. Yeah.
Not afraid of no big black wolf.
He would swallow you whole.
He would. He
Yeah.
would.
It's creepy when you skitter like that. You know you can fly, right? Or
I
not
know.
like an insect.
Like when she runs, she does is a little. It is a little bug, like weird and kind of like. But
Nice.
I love it.
but then
Right.
yeah.
Savage Gams. Savage Gams.
Savage
Yeah,
Gams. Savage Gams.
you make your way through town again, right? It's early morning, I think, at this point. And you know, it is now
Slurpee rolled a 4.
Slurpee.
God, stop it! Stop,
You know,
please.
it is now probably it's I don't even remember what fucking day it was.
It's the next day, but
yeah,
it's
It
like
was key day.
It was
Yeah,
key
we-
day.
yeah,
So
we
it's
slept.
early. It's early Ravens Day. Probably like third.
Because it was like
bell,
middle of the because
second-
we had the
second
one
bell.
sleep.
Yeah.
And then you said that it was like close to night when we made it up the mountain. So
Yeah. So now it's
Yeah.
like you can see that dawn is coming as you've kind of come down now and engaged in the grove. One of the maiden has set and matron wait, mother, fuck, I can't remember the things I invented.
maid mother. It's maid mother and crone.
Yes, mother is still up, but not much. Yeah, it's early morning. There's maybe a more height, even as you kind of make your way through, there's a more heightened presence that you notice of golden knights, and indeed also of there are a number of gatekeepers or members of the gatekeepers that you can see about as well. Yeah, you make your way to Savage and Gams. It is how do I put this delicately? A shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are drunken fey creatures passed out everywhere.
Of course there are.
Oh, we missed a hell of a party.
Savage and Gam, of course, they're the same contiguous being as an Etten, are passed out on a table, and whatever that leprechaun's name was, that leprechaun is sitting on top of sitting on top of them, like has like a chicken wing in one hand and like a beverage of some kind in the other hand, and it's still kind of like doing the helicopter, like the big sway as you kind of enter in, and it is like it's a battlefield of frat boy drunkenness in here.
I love it. Given the severity of the situation,
Yeah.
I'm gonna maybe tap Andre and be like,
The fairy wake.
and be like, if you want to maybe pour out the drinks, I'll put some money in the register.
Why would I pour out the drinks?
because Savage and Gam are out like a light.
Yes.
He means pour the drinks, not pour out the drinks. We'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
pouring
sorry.
them out in our own mouths.
Into mugs. That was that's what I meant.
Yes.
Sorry.
I thought you were. I was confused for a moment. I will go get us some drinks.
It's okay. We're all a little tired, and I'm gonna put like a couple silver. In
Go over.
It's
wait
all
for
right.
the-
I speak Fae.
You speak tired fairy.
You speak astray. You speak Fae.
You notice like my background of Fae Lost just reaches out to Fae creatures and makes them feel
Yeah,
at
I'm just gonna
home.
throw like I'm gonna throw like 5 silver in the till.
Gets 4 pints, waves to the leprechaun,
Oh,
heads back over.
Unintelligible,
yeah.
like like Brad Pitt in like times
Anything?
10 in what it was, a Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hey, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
You like eggs?
times 10. Like even worse. Yeah.
Give me ma. Okay. Sets the pints, like literally picks up some sort of gnome, gently sets it on top of another table to like clears off some space on a bench for us.
It's a legit like David the Gnome style gnome. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not like other gnomes that you've seen. It's like a fairy gnome, right?
Oh, I love it. She's just gently moving people out of the way.
Astrid doesn't bother getting a booster seat. She just sits on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all at that point.
So this has been
A day.
one hell of a night, yes.
It's even been a day.
My thought is you gave unto the Golden Knights your address, yes? Your location, that place where you stay.
Yeah, basically.
Do you want to stay there so that you can be roused by people to ask you questions, or would you like to not go back to that place for the morning?
I mean, I just gotta sit still and stare for like 4 hours.
I could really use a long rest. I
It
am exhausted.
might be harder for them to get to me because I live up in a tree.
But here's where I'm asking you. Do you want to be bothered by the Golden Knights after your rest, or do you want some time to think this over before you have a conversation with people?
I don't want to talk to the Golden Knights.
I do have a place that is technically big enough for everyone, but I have no beds for everyone. So as long as you have
Okay.
bedrolls, it is an option, or a few blankets, or we can find something. I wish to make the offer.
It might
I'll,
be a
I'll
good
probably
idea
take
to
you up on that, Henri.
not sleep where a bunch of murders happened. Just at
Yeah.
least for tonight.
At least
I
until
mean, as
they...
long as you're okay with me sitting there and just staring.
I can say with all honesty, I will not be bothered by this.
Mhm.
I don't know, just blink every once in a while, maybe.
Just
You
maybe...
do what you are comfortable with. I don't care. I just wanted to. We should stick together, I think, for the evening or for the day, as we slumber, because we are people of the night. I feel like I should have some sort of broad cape and perhaps different makeup and teeth for
Mask.
a person. And mask, I don't quite understand the mask, but I like the idea of a mask.
Maybe just half of one.
As you
Astrid
say.
pulls up her face mask that actually goes up like this. Like this.
There you go. You got it.
I know nothing of these cultures, but I am intrigued. So perhaps we shall have our beer. We will go to my place. We will take our rest while the sun is in the sky, and figure out what to do from there. Yes?
I think that's a very good idea.
I'm going to drink this and see if it does anything. And she downs it.
Yeah, you're like the worst at parties because you're just bleh, like
She is nothing if not efficient.
yeah.
I'm watching to see if it like drains out any of the holes.
No.
I just feel like my mug is so big in comparison to me. It's like you gave a beer stein to a toddler, basically.
Yeah, it's like
Comes in
it's like a third of your body.
Yeah, a pint for me is giganto.
So unless anybody wants to get anything else.
The leprechaun has broken into maybe a song. It's hard to tell.
We should probably also clear out before any of the Fae awaken.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Well, actually, while we're sitting here, is it possible for us to take a look at these swords and see what they maybe, what they
Uh,
perhaps do?
Well, I
does-
guess in a very real way, I would ask, does anybody have identify?
I have no spells available to me at the moment. I guess you'd have to attune to them to learn what they do, or just spend some time with them. I don't know when I get identify.
I would allow
The second level spell, so you'd get it 3rd level.
Oh yeah, I don't have it yet.
I would allow perhaps an investigation, perhaps an arcane observation of said swords.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Let's do it. As you kind of peruse your pile of loot.
I'm gonna give myself guidance. Can I do that?
Yep.
Where did my spells go? There we go.
What's it look like when you do guidance?
Just like a little like, oh.
You
Good
just,
luck.
sit there for a minute. You can do this.
I
You
just go,
talking to
good
yourself.
luck.
I think I can. I think I can.
Hey, listen. Wow, I've rolled. That's the 3rd 18 I've rolled tonight.
Nice.
Oh. But I'll do this anyway. 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 total.
24 total. So you kind of take a look at these weapons and have a number of things readily apparent to you. The first one is made the black one is made of elemental glass.
Ooh.
That it's made through some process that involves fire elementals and other things. And you know that there are a variety of, I guess, types, and black glass is one of them. You get the feeling that this weapon is probably not in fact magical, but it does have some properties. Of course, there's no way in D&D Beyond to just create equipment that has properties, so I had to create it as a magic item.
Okay.
But I am going to drop this item into your
Drop it like it's hot.
into your equipment. Manage inventory.
Into wait,
Key
Selma's
days.
equipment or
into
key days?
Selma's.
Oh, well, I'll just give it to you.
Oh, key day.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, because I gave that one to Key Day. I'm just
That makes sense.
looking
That
them
makes
over
sense.
for you.
I will go into key day and drop it into your inventory.
Yay!
There we go. Add 2 equipment. Elemental glass, black sickle.
Ooh.
Ultimately, the elemental glass as the black elemental glass as a material has the benefit of being able to be used as a spell casting focus, as a inherent property of the glass itself. And this weapon is also keen. It has an upgrade, which is a function of from the Armorer's Handbook, the Heavy Arms Armorer's Handbook, which is a document I have shared with you lot that we are going to perhaps make some use of, at least in this case. So it grants a +1 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon because it is super
Nice.
sharp.
Nice.
And
That's
it
still
also does 2d4 damage instead of 1d4 damage, which is what a normal sickle does 1d4 damage. But the
Oh,
sickles that red caps, which are the monster archetype that I used for the original night, they do 2d4 damage. So I made this one as it's a special one, so it does an extra d4 damage.
yeah.
And the red sword from the satyr is similar in some ways, but is different. It is not I better make sure that how I wrote this up. It is not made of elemental glass, but it is carved of a red kind of crystal. Has in some ways has a similar creative look to how Henri's sword looks, although it is of a different form factor. It's not unlike this kind of sickle sword that the black glass sword is. It's very similar in shape. This weapon has a kind of inner like red star light within it, and there are you can see that there are arcane inscriptions upon it. But in this one also is only the blade is of the crystal, whereas the black elemental glass sword, the whole thing is glass, whereas only the blade of this red star or this red sword is
In theory, I could use the sickle one because it is a simple weapon.
I will
Drop that on into
I'm gonna-
Kiday's inventory.
yeah, I'll drop that into your inventory as well. Although you haven't identified this,
Okay.
but I'm gonna put it here anyway. Your character won't necessarily know what it does. There is
Can I know
yeah.
what it's called? Because I'm
it
curious.
is called the Red Star Blade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
fancy. Both
But
red
this one
and
is-
starry and blady.
Yeah. And then you have 2 horns
Yes.
that you recovered. They also have arcane script upon them. They appear to be not identical, but very similar. One is or they're both like cow horns.
Mhm.
And they are obviously made to be blown. And they have arcane script upon them as well.
Are they in the
Yep, I can. Whose inventory should I drop them into?
I think mine, because I know I
Okay.
had the one.
Right.
And then I'll just, depending on what they do, maybe I'll
Sure.
pass one off.
These I think you'll know what these do. These are kind of lesser, more common-ish magic items. So these are called Horns of Signaling, and they essentially act as giant obnoxious walkie-talkies.
This will be fun.
Functionally, so you can blow a horn, and somebody who is also holding a horn of signaling, should they be able to hear your horn, can receive a 25-word message.
I love that. Would anyone
Point to
like?
point sending.
Would
They are
anyone?
charged. They are charged. It is charge based. But it's effectively like a sending spell. But it's within earshot of a horn blast. I didn't put a range on there because
It's
I don't care
yeah.
that much. But
Earshot.
yeah.
Yeah. Would anyone like the other horn? Because we have two.
Astray will take it.
Okay. I will pass the other one to Astray, and there is, I think, a part of Selma that looks a little hesitant to do so, but will will hand it off. So me and you both have a horn of signaling.
I suppose that is best. The two people who can scout, being able to communicate.
I suppose so.
You know that only the people holding the horns can hear the message.
Yeah.
Although the horns do, in fact, they're still horns.
Yeah, they are still
They're still
very
loud.
very loud horns.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll come in handy. Who knows? What are you gonna do?
Life, she is uncertain.
Yes.
Shall we go get some rest?
Oh yes, please.
That sounds amazing.
All right. Henri will lead out onto the streets and head towards the general area of Bibbidi Bobbidi. It's Corvella's Edge Apartments.
Yes.
And you know, unless anything happens on the way there, El Chatterino.
We get
Nothing will
mugged.
happen on the way there. Yeah.
Okay.
You make your way to your house, your
Okay, yeah.
apartment.
And you know, it's like a 6-story apartment block, and he just leads up and up
Well, this is really nice.
and up and up, and then gets to the final landing, and then starts climbing up a ladder to the hole in
Oh.
the
Oh,
ceiling.
that's right. I forgot you have you
kinda
have
This is less
Opens
nice.
that, climbs on in, and again, it's a floor that's the entire width of the apartment building, but it's just unfinished boards and the ceiling that kind of slopes down at one end, and then like 1 or 2 windows which are really kind of holes, and it's empty space, and you can see he's kind of got a corner set up with like a very thin like mattress like roll, like almost a tatami mat or something like that, and like a secondhand set of drawers and an armor stand he got from somewhere, and just like a little hookah set up on the dresser drawers, and he just kind of wanders. I do not have much, but you are welcome to the space.
I
he
love
just starts-
what you've done with the place.
Takes the armor off.
Like said, this dusty, large room in the tiny corner that you've been living in it.
so much space.
So much
It was
fun
very
activities.
cheap.
Goes to the middle of the floor and just kind of lays there, and she's like, I guess I could stare at the ceiling for tonight. Or for this
Make
day.
a dust angel.
She does.
Why are you doing that? You were getting yes,
Dust.
that.
Right. Yeah.
Are there any like beams or like rafter sort of dealios available?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, then Selma will flutter on up to the nearest large sort of beam, pillow her pack, and be like, "Yeah, this is good."
Yeah.
She wants to be up.
And unless there is anything else that you would like to do, anyone would like to do for the evening, you will you will signal that you have something to do. Is that what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Go for it.
Henri
you
is
go for it.
going to hit his hookah and the Phantom's tears.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, make a hang on, let me go to the there we go. Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah, make whatever roll did we make the last time? I evidently didn't write the fuck that shit down.
I don't remember.
Give me a constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was pretty sure it was Constitution.
I rolled a 19 naturally with 4 more, so that's 23.
Yeah. You have a dreamless sleep.
And while everybody else starts to fall asleep, Astray is gonna use the 4 hours to work on training in the perception skill and just like try and suss out all the little things in the room.
Okay. Yeah, give me let's do a perception roll.
A 2.
Hmm. It's been a long night, right? You've had you've been stabbed a few times, raked with claws, and you're whatever your equivalent for exhausted would be. You're pooped.
So take a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
You're tuckered, right? You've climbed up and down a mountain.
Like she
yeah,
attempts to look at stuff and then it just starts getting blurry and she's like, probably just the dust.
You have a hard time focusing. Yeah.
Eventually just lays there staring at the ceiling.
All right.
Where's Keyday gonna settle down?
KJ will take out a blanket from her bag and just kind of like curl up in some available floor space. Actually, are there any windows on this level or no? She'll go over
There's like
towards
2
the-
holes that look out over the city.
Like the crow.
Probably.
Yeah,
Or
she'll go
Aladdin.
kind of close to one of those where like she could look out if there were some loud noise or something. But
Sure.
underneath it, she'll just curl up and go to sleep. I'm
And
beat.
you gain the benefits of a long rest, my friends. You can go ahead as well, and however you're marking these down, you can give yourself 2 ticks of a level clock or experience clock.
Hell yeah.
How big are the XP clocks?
I believe 8. I have to
Yeah,
check
so I
my
think
notes
we have
again.
2 of 8.
Yeah.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
This was like the equivalent of a mission.
Yeah.
It was some adventure happened.
We went into a dungeon.
You did.
There was stuff.
You came out.
We did.
You got some loot. You killed some dudes. And yeah, in whatever way you would arise in the morning, or rather it probably in the
Evening.
afternoon or whatever, or evening, depending on how long you want to
I
sleep.
mean, it would be late morning for a stray. She only lays there 4 hours.
That's
If
true,
we-
stares at everybody while they sleep.
Yeah, if we went to bed around dawn, we're probably waking up in the late afternoon or early
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Henri
Mid.
just wakes up like a Dracula. I'm kidding.
A stray sitting at the end of the mat, just staring.
He just kind of wakes up and he just doesn't even look surprised. He just goes, huh. And he kind of just rolls off the tatami mat, starts doing push-ups.
Keyday looks over, sees them doing push-ups, and is like, "All right, let's race."
Oh,
She
okay.
gets down, and they start having a push-up competition,
He goes in
Alright,
for like
fuck
the
it in.
diamond
Oh,
push-up.
diamonds.
Yeah,
one-handed.
What?
he goes
All right.
one-handed.
All right, let's see some disadvantage athletics rolls.
A stray looks at Selma. Should we sit on their backs?
Well, I rolled 2 15s, so my total is a 21.
Nice.
Selma has taken out her leftovers from the pub dinner.
The disadvantage 11.
That's her
Okay.
breakfast. She's having her lamprey.
I say
Astray
yeah.
says something about like, getting on the back. He's like, okay.
I say disadvantage because of course you immediately both went to the most hardest push-ups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're a beast, right? Kide,
Apparently.
but Henri is he's this is
Does this
his
every morning.
place, right? This is his place. He slept on his straw mat. You just curled up by the window. So
Yeah.
he probably slept a little better than you. And
Oh,
You're a
so
little
I'm
stiff
he's
stiff.
for
able
Pierre.
Oh,
he's able
yeah,
to
I
do
am.
like, I don't know, like 5 more one-arm push-ups than you are.
He just gets done with that and immediately stands up and starts going through a stretching routine. Just, all right. So where are we going from here?
And she's like mid chew of like leftover cold lamprey.
Where did you
Uh,
get that?
it's leftover
From 2 days ago?
yesterday lunch.
It's 2 days ago.
No, it's fine. I did say tell Grayson One Eye we might meet him today. He's the arch druid of the Fairy Grove. He may be good to talk to, so I thought that might be a good thing for us to do.
No, that I think that's an excellent place to start. Henri says as he picks up his sword, just kind of unsheaths it, goes to a very obvious stylized position, and starts just going through a series of drills.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm just because like I'm just imagining she's up on a rafter eating cold eel from like a day and a half ago.
Love it so much.
Yeah,
Um,
that's-
Kide
What
will
level of
take
dress
up.
are you in, Henri?
I
Are
think
you like
he's sleep-
Kylo Ren right now? High
Um,
pants, no shirt.
Actually, probably. I'm not gonna lie. And which the man has a 19 strength. He's
Right?
not big, but he is like Bruce Lee cut under there.
He's
Yeah,
a shit
no.
brick house or brick
Yeah.
shit house.
Selma's appreciative, and I don't think she knows social cues enough to not ogle.
He probably doesn't notice. Like,
And-
just okay.
Yeah, I think for at least everyone involved, it's very like a little golf clap. Very nice.
Kide's gonna take out those new swords and try to get like comfortable with them.
Yeah.
Figure out, how they move and are they both things I have to attune to, or just the one is attuned?
Yeah, only the red sword is actually magical and has an attunement piece.
Okay, I
Um,
will attune to the red star blade.
As
Oh,
Kide is doing that,
okay.
Henri will kind of stop, switch position, like take up a guard and be like, let's go slowly, and just like try and
help.
spar her through it. So she's not just swinging it; she has an opponent there to like hit and move against.
Yeah, kind of get the feel.
Yeah.
So these blades have a different life, we could say, than your scimitars, right? Than your scimitars. Their weight and balance is a little different. The red blade is physically a slightly larger, is a bit larger of the two, but strangely like lighter than the black sword. None of that really kind of makes any mechanical difference. Like they're different, and it probably takes you a little bit to kind of get super comfortable with them, but yeah, they have a different feel, because of the material. The bounces are a little different, than what you're used to.
So the black glass blade, did you say that was 2d4?
Yeah, they're both 2d4, and
Oh,
it
okay.
it
Because they're
it
not.
reads.
They don't look like that. in
Yeah,
the-
it reads. I couldn't, and then maybe I'll dig around in D&D Beyond and figure out how to make it. But so like if you look in your actions,
Mhm.
if you equip them, so if you go into the inventory and then hit the thing so they're active.
They are.
Would it be easier to make them 1d8?
I mean, I guess
Just out of I don't
I guess
know.
it would. It's
But
it's a,
technically, 2d4 is better than one.
yeah,
It is
it's
better.
it's different. So how does that work? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to futz with it.
You futz with it. It's okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought I had a bonus, a marketable bonus of an act, but it doesn't appear to allow you to roll that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, they're 2D. They do more than the normal damage that sickles do.
I mean, I could always just remember to roll an extra d4 when I hit with them.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, if that, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll fiddle.
Fiddle
about.
was it?
Well, they're kind of doing their thing. Can Selma sort of set her lantern up in front of her and just sort of examine the interior of the sort of swirling, gently floating little sparkles and pieces of light on the inside, and just kind of, are you okay in there?
There are some new bits that have a reddish cast.
So it's like purple now. It's kind of cool.
I mean, it's a kaleidoscope of colors.
I don't know how light works.
Just some little glitter bits are red.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Some red
glitter.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, but yeah, she's just gonna take some time and just kind of like see what a kind of vibe she can get from it. Like, you okay in there? Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Trey continues to just creepily stare at people.
Par for the course, yeah. All right, I can't take that anymore. Yeah, you you definitely pick out like that it's the kind of motes of light are a little bit like denser, like there's a couple of more that, and they definitely have like a red cast to them, and yeah, you don't get like anything like untoward from it.
Yeah, I was just I think she sucked a man's soul into her lantern, so she's just
Look, haven't we all been there?
She's just checking things over, making sure, like,
freshman year of college, you're just trying to figure stuff out.
Everything all right. But anyway,
We've got undead. We've got some kind of necromancer. We've got a drug addict and Key Day.
Key Day, the reasonable one.
A person with
flaming
tattoos.
Yeah, random runes all over her body.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember getting.
Listen, it's all good. I might be royalty. I don't know. That wasn't in what I said. The DM.
out of character.
Yeah, it's just like I remember what I said. And it was very vague, so that's okay.
It's all vague.
As we're sparring, I'm gonna say, when we were leaving that cave up in the mountains, I didn't say anything at the time. However, I did hear something that sounded like scurry.
Henri just sighs, and there's a second where he's still and then the sword tip just kind of shoots out and kind of baps you on the arm, like it actually just not hard enough to hurt, just kind of a whap.
I know it like stink. Oh,
It's like, oh,
You have
Can we-
got to
That
stop
when
that for your own good.
you glowed more? I caught that.
what do you mean?
As we were leaving the cave and I was over your shoulder. Your runes brightened and then unbrightened.
you flickered.
Did I? That's odd. I haven't done that before.
Get some aloe vera.
Is
Well-
there
Take care of that.
is
How-
there
how
any
many-
sorry, is there anything we can maybe like do any of us recognize the word scrape?
Yeah, I would allow everyone other than Michael, everyone other than Henri, because he foolishly ignored the choice for taking Primordial.
I read the memo, was like, fuck that noise.
To
I'm taking deep speech.
make a, I would say just an intelligence roll.
My God, again, another one. So
I got a 6.
I mean, did you want me to take an intelligence roll myself, or?
Yes, too. Yes, you as
Okay.
well. As you're
uh,
kind of like
I'm
having
not
this
smart.
discussion and talking about it.
I
and
rolled
thinking about it
another.
more,
I
you'll-
rolled another 18, so 19. God.
Oh, I thought you said you roll a 1.
No, I rolled an 18.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
No, sorry, I said I rolled another one because I've rolled four
oh.
18s tonight,
Okay.
which is just a very specific number.
At least
Ash?
you're consistent.
I
know,
had
Brady's too busy like examining the runes to see what's going on with Key.
I apparently
He
had
can't
some
recognize.
deep insight into myself as I rolled a 20. Or
Nice.
I didn't roll a
Hell
natural
yeah.
20. It was 19 plus 1.
Okay.
30
Still
20.
great.
So
Aw.
both of you it's a primordial word, a name, most likely, and key day with a natural 20. You
Dirty 20.
dirty 20. Okay. As the one who rolled better than the other one. Yeah, you know that it is a name from the Afriti. It's like it's like if Jinn are, wait, hang on. I don't know, how does this fucking work in D&D? If the type of creature that a person would call genies are tribes of beings, right? And Afriti are those who name their people Johnson, which would be different from like the Jan, which are what, the water Jinn or whatever,
Mhm.
who would name their who might have the name of, I don't know, Gallagher, right? Right. So you it's a name. You don't necessarily know much about it, but you do know that it is the name. It is a name that would be from the tongue of those known as Afriti.
That's an Afriti word, isn't it?
I think so. Not super familiar with it, but it does sound. I know it is primordial.
Primordial? I speak primordial.
I do not.
That's okay. Well, maybe that's something we can look up at the library.
I
Right.
do mean to go by the archives.
So maybe that's what we do today. We go to the archives, we talk to Grayson, and maybe we avoid the Golden Knights.
Sounds like
That
a plan.
Sounds like a plan, as you say. And my friends, that sounds like a plan for the second half of our season.
It do.
Yeah.
So, let me succinctly wrap things. You've got 2 swords,
What
And-
more could you ask for?
the trapped souls of your enemies.
I do.
And an emotional support undead.
And emotional support undead. You've got a name,
1 minute.
and
Got a very
yeah,
a
you've got
very frightening slumber between stars.
a number of revelations of some kind have been had. And what does all this mean? I'm gonna be honest.
I know.
I don't know. We'll
Makes
find
perfect
out.
sense to me.
Maybe next time, or the time after that, or maybe in season 2. Who knows? Some of these threads could be long time from now, but some of them could be next time. So my friends, thank you for joining us today. Whoever is in chat in watching live, I see you.
We got a
Moobot,
Skagwater RPG who's a very, very handsome man.
Sophia
Uh,
Fox.
Most assuredly
There's
is.
Bleak Season has an amazing beard.
Every time Skag posts gym selfies, I'm always like, yay!
We've got a Minnesota mimosa now.
Oh,
That's now
So
Chad.
Wait,
that
what?
says that, Chad.
so I think Ashley, you may need to sue someone for copyright.
Anyway,
You had that.
thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We hope that you will join us in 2 weeks for the second half of the season. We're going to take a week off next week, so I can figure out what the hell I'm doing. And let's before I
Cat says to check your Discord.
I know. Before I do any of that, please, my real friends who I game with, please remind everybody who you are, perhaps what you have going on, and where they can find you at the internet. Please take your own initiative to do it, starting with Allison.
Hi, I'm Allison. I have been Selma. You can find me at It's a Feral on Twitter and Instagram and wherever your toys are sold. You can find me here on Thursdays and next week, next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, for part 2 of our prologue for Misguided Magic, where you will get to meet my character, who I'm very, very excited about. And this Saturday, please tell your friends and loved ones. Sister Cities over at Exquisite Corpse Presents is back for season 2. Oh, you have no idea what's coming, but it's very, very saucy. So Sister Cities, me and Kristen on Saturday. Tuesday here with Maria DMing, and then a week from now, back in the saddle.
2 weeks
Stealing
from
2 weeks from now. Sorry, Stealing Souls, etc., etc. And I will pass it along to Kristen because we're in the same game.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm in lots of games with Allison. You can find me on the interwebs
All of them.
at Darcerealish in most places. You can also find me on Exquisite Corpse Presents on Saturday for season 2, which I am alternately excited and terrified about.
I'm gonna pee myself.
Then lots of stuff on this channel that Chad's going to talk about. So I'll let him talk about it. And we will go to Ashley.
Hey everybody, I'm Ashley, Minnesota Muse 99 on Twitter, and you can find me on Wednesdays with Guild Superior for Beyond Saltmarsh. So come and check us out. We are going to probably finish up the season. I think it's the end of August, Michael? Is that...
Third week of August should, in theory, be the last sesh.
Yeah,
that's the last sesh I can play in. So that was the intent. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, so it could be wrapping up pretty darn soon.
And something new and brilliant will happen in its place. I have heard rumblings and rumors, whispers on the wind and skittering in the walls of my mind. I again have been the voice that comes from your speakers from across the world, the electric ether transmitting vibrations that reach your consciousness in a form of magic that we all too often take for granted. I'm Michael. You can find me at Valkyrie Bait on Twitter, where I'm just as crazy as I just sounded. I'm also in Beyond Saltmarsh, ramping that out. We're going to see where that goes. I have a dirty feeling we are going to punch some buttons and rocket straight in the stratosphere on our way out. Probably chasing that fucking comet that came down on top of us. But
I was not
back to Chad.
You. Why wasn't I following you?
Because I am elusive as the wind and unknowable as the scent of jasmine that you fills your nostrils as you wake in the morning.
Sure.
How did you get into my house?
It's very easy when you know how to get into the walls.
That's true.
Watch us
Michael's in the walls.
It's got so weird. Hey, I'm Chad. On Twitch, I'm North Shore DM. On Twitter, I am Real CMG. You can find me right here on Thursdays. That's where I am right now. I want to say real quick, I don't understand how we haven't ever made the joke of to Saltmarsh and beyond. I don't know how I haven't made that joke yet. But there it is.
So
yeah, coming up, check it out. We've got a lot of stuff right here on Rainbows and Razor Blades Productions. A lot of stuff, a lot of programming that can fill the niche, fill that hole perhaps in your digital heart or whatever, tomorrow at 7 p.m. All the times that I'm going to give you are in Pacific time. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. The mid-season finale of Somnon Mixteri, which is Kristen's cyberpunk homebrew campaign. It's a lot of fun. Kat, our producer for this show and I guess all of the shows, plays in it, and she's amazing. She plays a hacker, and she has no fucks. There's no nonsense going on with her character. It's great. And then all the way through to Tuesday, there's nothing going on Monday. All the way through to Tuesday of next week at 1 p.m. is another installment of Watercolor Wizardry, which is an art stream with Maria, as she makes some fantastic watercolor character art for some characters. I don't know what she's going to be doing, but she'll be doing some characters, probably maybe for her show, maybe for a different show, but they'll be cool. It's fantastic. You should check those out. And then later on in that day at 4:30 is the second prequel one shot for Misguided Magic, which will be Allison and someone else.
Not me, Kristen. I'm Chris on that show.
Yep.
Kristen and Beth.
Allison, other Kristen, and other Beth. You know what
Yes, yes,
There'll
we're
be
gonna.
3 people versus the 2 from last week, from this week.
We will be meeting. We will be meeting on the road. So Chris and Abby's characters knew each other last week.
That's
These
right.
guys don't know each other at all.
It's gonna be fun. If you didn't catch the first prequel from this week, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. It was super fun.
Super cool.
And then oh yeah, because next week is the break week for Monday. So Madness Takes Artena, which is Kristen's 5e homebrew game, which is on Mondays. Our game and Summon Mixterai will of course be on mid-season break. And you are hearing it now, maybe for the first time. I don't keep up with everything, but you are hearing it now. On Thursday of next week at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, there will be a special one-shot, a preview play of Stealing Stories for the Devil by Monty Cook. If you know anything about Monty Cook, he writes good games. With special guest DM Steve.
Friend Steve.
It's just a regular name, Steve. He plays he's in the Madness Takes Artena game. He plays
As
Errol,
Errol.
if you know. Stay tuned for further announcements. We have some fantastic guest players for that game, for that one shot. Evidently, it's not in my notes, so they are. So you'll have to stand by on Twitter.
Yeah, surprise.
Someone will fucking tell you, and then you'll be like, "Oh shit, this is great." As always, there's a link for some merch if you like the cool shirt that Michael's wearing. The cool
the
shirt
newly
that,
created.
yeah, it's such a good shirt. I have one. I wore it last week. I know that you can't see Kat, but she's wearing the logo shirt, and it's great. Now there's mugs and stuff.
Why is hers covered in so much blood?
Well, she has kids.
That tracks.
Yeah.
And this show is actually next for Watercolor Wizardry to get character art.
Nice. We'll have character art
shizzle.
soon. You can support the show by following, by subscribing on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow any of us individually and the channel as a whole on Twitter for any updates and any shenanigans, the ramblings that we get up to. Yeah.
I heard there's a Kofi
again.
thing.
And I want to say a quick one final thing. Thanks to Lost Fellow for allowing us to use his song, their song. I don't actually know. Chains of the Past as the theme song for our show. And thanks to Mike Shea, aka Sly Flourish, for writing the City of Arches PDF, which is available for his patrons on Patreon, which is what we're using. Kind of. It's great. Anyway, that's all. That's the last of it. From my heart to your heart, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Do, do, do.